Addod Solutions. Add-on desired.
Welcome to Addod Solutions Current Affairs program. I am Venkatesh Reddy. Now we are going to discuss the important articles for the exam today. Finding a healthy way to cook. Now, pollution today in most of the articles, pollution is the key area that has come forward. Now let us try to discuss about these elaborately. It's been quite a long time that we have evolved from open area cooking to in-house cooking, and now our kitchen has transformed into something else. But as our population is mostly almost 60% of poor section are the below middle class section, and within this almost 60% of our population or 63% of our population is belong to rural, and within this rural population, that is of almost 65% of rural population whatever we have now, out of this 50% or more than 50% of this population is a poorer section, and many of them are still not in a position to use LPG as the cooking medium. And what happens if LPG is not there, and what is the material that they use for cooking? Either firewood or maybe cow dung cakes is the medium of cooking. Now, because of all these things, wrong practices, firewood or cow dung cake, these will be emitting lots of pollutants, and as this is a closed space, they will stay there for a long time. And then in this situation what happens? The woman will be getting affected. If a woman get affected, the offspring of woman will also be getting affected. Offspring means babies and their babies. Up to third generation, all the problems whatever a woman goes through will also be continued to for the further generations. Now, to stop all these things, what we are trying to do over a period of time, for the first time in 1972, when limits to growth discussion happened, our leaders has represented that poverty is the reason for pollution. How poverty is reason for pollution? Because of poverty and unaffordability, what happens? We are not able to purchase the LPG or clean fuels or maybe further new technologies that are coming now. When we are not able to afford them, then what we will do? We will be resorting to the methods what are affordable and feasible, even though they are much pollutant or they are highly like a potential of pollutants. Now, to eradicate all these things, what happened? From 1984 itself, a method of chula has tried to implement throughout our country, and then after that gobar gas. As most of the population is a rural population and most of this is agrarian economy, everybody will be having animals at their house, and there will be a constructed pit, and this pit will be filled with the dung or cow dung or the buffalo dung, and due to this we will be getting the gas, and which will be cleaner than the other fuel that we are using for the cooking, either firewood or cake. And then after that what happened? From almost like 2 decades earlier, it's been trying to implement LPG. Subsidized LPG is been trying to be given to the household from 2016 onwards. It has been taken forward as the mission mode, and a target is been set to 100% LPG houses or 100% like a clean fuel houses, where kitchens will be using only clean fuels like LPG, or maybe in future the new technologies that are either, if electricity is cheaper than the LPG, then electric cookers, or maybe solar, or maybe any other fuels that are of clean. But for the LPG to be implemented, it's been like subsidy also increased like a double. 12,000 crore was the subsidy in 2016-17, and it is increased to 21,000 crores in 2017-18 with the target of achieving 100% LPG by 2025. For what purpose? This is to be implemented to safeguard the women of the house, and what kind of diseases it will be causing? the kind of diseases will be respiratory diseases, eyes, and other bronchitis. Many different diseases will be caused due to these kind of activities to safeguard on the health grounds also. If half of the population of our country is not healthy, then what happens? We will not be able to productive enough again, and in our country, out of pocket expenditure on the health is more when compared to other countries. And if we are able to follow the method of prevention is better than cure, if we can be able to replace these age old fuels that are causing pollution, in-house pollution, and if we can be able to replace this, then what happens? We will be able to safeguard those out of pocket expenditure, which is the one of the most important reason for the most of our population to be under the poverty line. So if we can able to adapt this by 2025, and even then we are implementing like on a mission mode, but we are not able to achieve. Most of the population is still under the using the same kind of fuels because of many reasons. One, either they may be not having the proper documents, or maybe they are not aware of applying for this, and etc. These are reasons for not able to achieve 100% of LPG. And other new technologies that are coming in, that are solar, and promote subsidy on the solar, and then using of electric cookers wherever it is possible. If the prices or tariffs of electricity is less than the gas rates, then what happens? It will be better to go for the electricity. Then recent times the gas or LPG, petroleum, everything is, all the fossil fuels prices are going up exorbitantly. In this situation, it is better to go ahead with the new technologies for the clean kitchens, so that we will be able to control, or we will be able to eliminate the in-house pollution, which is more dangerous than the industrial pollution that is happening somewhere else than every day happening it in the houses. This is another area where we are all the reason for this and cause for this. Portion of Balswa landfill collapses. What is a landfill? All the garbage that we dump will be collected by the municipal workers, and which will be dumped in the landfill. There will be a pit dug, a large pit, a very big pit will be dug, and you will be continuously filling in this all the garbage that we will be dumping. Now what is the kind of garbage that we generate? We will be generating wet and the dry garbage, that is of maybe vegetable, food to plastic, or even the e-waste or electronic waste to any hazardous material that may be dumping in. Whatever that is a waste for us will be thrown into dustbin. We don't even segregate even after continuous promotion or awareness campaigns that are done either by the government or even the NGOs are doing, but many of us are not taking this work for us itself, and everybody, like most of the population, is dumping it. And again there is one term, that NIMBY. NIMBY means not in my backyard, and nobody wants this like a dump yard in their vicinity. So what happens? This will be created at a very far away place from the city. But nowadays in India, like urbanization is on its free, so that what is happening, the growth of the cities are limitless, and then what happened, most of the areas that are surrounding in these areas will be getting affected in many areas. Like first of all, this fill will be filled, and this created as the mountain. For my surprise, I will be sharing you one experience. I was in Delhi for some time, and when I was going out towards the Ghaziabad, I have seen that some of the vultures or even type of eagles that are hovering over at certain place. Then I was like shocked to see that I have not seen in the city, and what is this, why these vultures are hovering over here. And then finally I felt that it is a mountain from a very distant place that I can clearly see. And finally, the moment I tried to approach a nearby place, then it started stinking. Then what happened, like what is this stinking feeling that I am getting? Now finally when I reached that place, I was surprised that truckloads of garbage is going above, and they are dumping over here, and it is almost like a mountain. And see the sorrow state of this, all the areas, like see this house, when the garbage has fallen down from this place, these houses has fled with the garbage, and people who living over here are daily breathing in and breathing out the same polluted air, and these are not even segregated ones. So you can imagine any kind of pollution, right from the carbon monoxide to methane, or even any other plastic pollutants to secondary pollutants. Primary pollutants are secondary pollutants. Apart from that, what happens, all the slurry, all the liquids that are there here will be going deep into groundwater. With the effect of gravity, they will be filling this slurry, black color slurry, into the groundwater. This may be causing, again, polluting the groundwater, finally reaching to the households from the in the form of water, tap water, or any other water, and which is leading to the cancer or many other diseases. So here we have to address this immediately, and it is everybody's responsibility to come up with the new technologies and self-responsible that segregate all the waste and dispose according to the a demand of the waste, so that finally what we can do, we can use either incinerators, or maybe we can use this waste into either producing energy, waste to energy plants, or maybe compost, and this compost will be a huge income for the people. So in this way, it is all our responsibility to segregate the waste, and so that we will be able to safeguard our own self from the pollution. Another area is again pollution. Kejriwal inaugurates smog towers in Connaught Place. Connaught Place is a place in Delhi, and here they have inaugurated smog towers. What is this smog towers, and what is the need of it? Before we enter into that, we will be considering air quality index. Air quality index, what are the parameters that will be taken into measure the air quality index? To measure air quality index, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, carbon monoxide, PM 2.5, PM 10 are the parameters where we will be considering, are the components will be considered to measure the pollution or the level of pollution, and which will be given in the signboards in cities, where this will be indicating the level of pollution in the city. Now the smog has increased, and this will be causing huge damage to the lungs as well as a visibility effect, and this will be causing huge accidents and accident prone area. All these are the problems that will be causing asthma and some other lung disease problem, lung problems will be generated because of the smog. What is smog then? Smog is fog mixed with the pollutants. What is that? Fog mixed with the pollutants, and like fog or haze intensified by smoke or other atmospheric pollutants. What are those pollutants? Sulfuric acid, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, carbon monoxide, and maybe even the derived ones are also included, and which will be causing the smog. What is fog? Fog is a thick cloud of tiny water droplets suspended in the atmosphere at or near the Earth's surface, which obscure or restrict the visibility. When this fog is mixed with all the pollutants and the dust or maybe other different particles, that will be turning into smog, and that will be causing huge damage. Now what is happening? The court has directed the government of Delhi to establish the smog centers, where these smog centers or the smog towers will be sucking out all the pollutants, or this tower will be having the ability to, this tower has the ability to suck in all the air that is around it from at least 1 kilometer range, and which will be filter out all the pollutants within that, and which will be give out the free smog free air, so that in this way we are trying to wipe out all the pollutants. But it is always good to prevent than the cure. Prevention is always better than the cure. So self responsibility is a most important area where we can be able to control and make our cities better livable conditions, instead of making our cities a polluted cities. Staying invested. what is this staying invested? We are observing that many twists and turns are going on in Taliban affected Afghanistan, and USA is trying to pull out itself, and the ultimatum is given by 31st of August. And in this situation, we also, like Indian embassy and many of the Indian citizens who are living there, has been pulled out. This is the second time in history. That first time in 1990s, when the same thing Taliban has started to capture Afghanistan, we have pulled out our own self, but then date back we were not having much of the investment in Afghanistan. But what have we achieved in this 2 decades time? We have achieved a long distance, like we have walked a long distance. We have created parliament and we have worked towards achieving the democratic principles, that we have seen that elections conducted in the society, and societal asset is more than the physical asset that one can create. Societal asset or the collective asset is something that is even more important than the physical asset. Apart from this social asset, we have created physical assets, but one of the most important element is we have tried to create this feeling of democracy and the values of democracy. But the moment when the president of Afghanistan itself has run away from the country, the morale of the population has gone down, but later on they started retaliating against the Taliban. In this situation, instead of just evacuating from the Afghanistan, it would have been much better, and even now also it is better to take measures to make the presence of our country, as we have created the Friendship Dam or the Salma Dam that is there in the country, and apart from that we have constructed many schools, and Zaran Zaleram highway is also created, like constructed here in the Afghanistan. It is in the part of the INSTC, and that is from Iran to Afghanistan and later on towards the northern part of the Asian continent. So in this way we have invested hugely, and as it is a strategic location for the geopolitical conditions, when it is almost again started the race to be portrayed as the world superpower, or the to portray the supremacy of one particular country, either by China or by US, it is as being our neighbor, it is even will be affecting our country too. So it is always better to maintain whatever we are like doing for the past 2 decades, instead of just evacuating on the knee sake. Let us see what development it will be leading to and how it will be turning to. On any condition, it is always good to have our presence in our neighborhood for a better safety of our own country also, apart from the social good that we are having under Article 51, that world peace. Promote world peace is also included in our constitution ideals that are included in the Article 51. Keep watching Addod Solutions for the daily updates. Thank you.
Addod Solutions. Add-on desired.